Hey y'all, what's up and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are playing in the new Natasha Denona Glam palette. I'm sure you all have seen it and you all have thoughts on it. I know I definitely have my thoughts on it. What we're gonna do first, we're gonna do a quick little eye tutorial. Then at the end, we're gonna get into this palette, talk more about it. I'll give you my thoughts, my opinions, and you know, of course, do you need it or not? Let's get into it. All right, fam, here we go. This is today's look. It is so beyond simple. Anybody can do it. Only doing one look today. Don't worry, I have more looks with the palette coming. It's just today we only have time for one. Side note, so I originally went in with my MAC 224 and I haven't used this in a really long time. Y'all know I've been using my Wayne Goss brushes. I put this on to blend my shadow in my crease like I typically would. This hurts. Now, this just goes to show you don't know what you don't know. Prior to me having my Wayne Goss brushes and using those, didn't know any difference. Now that I've been using those and I tried this today, trash. Not really trash, we'll still use it, but anywho, let's get on with it. So the first shade we're going in with here is the shade Smoke. And I am going to take my Wayne Goss brush number 18. And I'm gonna start with this in the outer crease, take it out, and we're bringing it all the way in. All right, then I'm gonna switch over to number 17, still using the same smoke color. And I'm bringing this all the way in, so don't worry about that. If you get it in the inner corner, you're thinking, oh my God, it's too far over. For this look, it's supposed to be there. So don't you worry. Then I'm gonna take Smoke and bring it down on the outer. So basically we're doing a halo eye because that is what I was feeling today. Then going back on the inner, wiping off my Wayne Goss brush. Then I'm just gonna furthermore blend. Going back to what Lori said in her video, a lot of people were kind of like, oh, the names. It says this is the crease color. That's not a crease color for me. Who in God's name truly uses the shades for what they're intended to be anyway? Now I can see if you're a novice and you're just starting and you don't know, like that's why she did it and I got it. But people that are getting bent out of shape, you can use it for whatever you want, you guys. Like, you don't have to follow the rules. And, you know, following the rules seems to be a rare thing these days because a lot of people can't seem to wear a freaking face covering when you need to. But whatever. Like, I'm sorry. I'm on a tangent. I'm not... It's been an interesting past couple of days. Let's just say that. Let me stay on task. Okay. Now we're going to take the shade Lash Line, this darker shade here. And now I'm going to take a number 19 brush and I'm just gonna follow up. So on the outer, in the crease, not taking this one as high as I did the first one though. And on the inner here. That is such a pretty shade. Now we're going to take the shade that is called Outer Lid and we're gonna put it on the center of the lid. Why? Because we can, because we bought it, we spent our money on it, and we can use it however we like. And I'm just gonna take my finger and I'm just going to press. Ooh. The reason why I'm using my finger is because whenever I do a halo eye, I just feel like the blend is better whenever I use my finger. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's something I made up in my head, but I just feel like the blend from the inner to the center to the outer is a little bit more smoother. All right, taking my number 17 brush Lovely. All right, taking my Marc Jacobs highliner. This one is in the shade Earthquake. It's the dark brown. Then taking my Sephora Felt Tip Wink It for the top. Then we're going to go back in with that lash line shade, and we're going to actually put it on the lash line. Well, lower lash line. Let's blend that out just a tish. Then I want so badly to put on lashes because I've just been a lash girl recently. However, I really need to get a good idea on how I feel about the Nars Climax mascara. So we're just gonna use this today, no lashes. But if you put a lash on with this, it's gonna take your look up a notch or 5. And this is the new Nars Climax Extreme. Love the original Climax in the red bottle. That one just gives so much volume. This one doesn't give as much volume as that one, but it is for sure way darker, I feel. And the brush is bigger, which can propose a problem at times. I feel like when the brush is bigger, I tend to make more of a mess. So 2 things. I forgot to pop that center lid color in the center of my bottom lash line. So if you see on my other eye, I have it there. In this one, the one I'm doing the demo on, I don't have it. I just forgot to put it on. And I'll go ahead and update you on this mascara. I took it back. It's definitely darker, but it was just clumpy. I didn't feel like it did much for my lashes. So I just wanted to update you guys on that too. All right, you guys, so this is our finished eye look here. Now let's talk about this palette. All right, y'all, on my face, I have on the Makeup Forever concealer under my eyes, spot concealed, and then I set today with my Charlotte Tilbury, the Flawless Airbrush powder, and then I just threw on some MAC Sweetest Cocoa blush with a little bit of Natasha Denona contour powder. That is it, no foundation today. And then on my lips, I am wearing the Tarte Color Splash lipstick in the shade Boardwalk. I have no idea if this is even still available or if it's discontinued, but of course, I'll leave everything in the description box down below. Now let's talk about this palette. Is it brown girl friendly? That has been the question that I've been seeing a lot online. And then for the people that are saying, oh no, that's not brown girl friendly, it's cool tone. Listen, it's just a tone. I think what you need to ask yourself is, do you truly think this isn't brown girl friendly? Or is it that you just aren't a fan of the color story? Because I think for the majority of people, that's what it is. I think for so long it's been engraved in brown girls and women of color that anything that appears to have a cooler tone appearance, that it's not for us, and that's just clearly not the case, as you can see with my look here today. Now, some may argue, no, I'm not on the deepest spectrum, but I'm not on the lightest either. I feel like I fall right in the middle, so therefore it still gives you a good idea regardless of where you fall on the spectrum. But this palette is 100% brown girl friendly. Something else to keep in mind, Natasha Denona, obviously I'm a fan, right? So if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, oh, Amber, you're biased, and that's fine, but let me just give it to you straight, no chaser, okay? This is just no bias, just looking at the brand as a whole. Natasha Denona is a large brand. Natasha Denona has provided with us a ton of palettes with a variety and different color story. So if you are someone who was upset because this one particular palette to you isn't brown girl friendly, doesn't work for you, or you just don't like it, that's okay, sis. I respect your opinion, but you also gotta keep in mind, Natasha Denona has given us bronze, brown girl friendly, women of color friendly. She's given us Lila, brown girl friendly, women of color friendly. She's given us Metropolis, brown girl friendly, women of color friendly. she has given us Biba. Again, brown girl friendly, women of color friendly. She has given us the Love palette. Again, brown girl friendly, women of color friendly. And she has also given us the Sunrise palette. Friendly. So you can't sit here and be mad at her because she came out with a palette that is cooler in tone. I like that her brand has a variety of color stories. So no matter what your preference may be, you will be able to find something that you like. Now my other thought, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw she was coming out with a Glam palette, I was like, oh cool, this is gonna be dope, this is gonna be bomb. I was not at all expecting the color story to be what it was. That's just my honest opinion, because whenever I think of any palettes that come out during the fall time, I think of warm tones. That's just where my mind goes. So when she said she was coming out with Glam, I was like, oh cool, it's gonna be a Glam fall palette. Totally wrong. This palette is Glam. It's 100% Glam. Every time I've used this palette, I always come out with something smoky. To me, anything that's smoky is gonna be glamorous, is gonna be nighttime. This is a palette that I would use more so for the nighttime, not necessarily daytime. However, I've been wearing it daytime because I don't care. And also, I work in a hair salon. I'm a hairstylist, so anything goes for us. But it would be tricky to make this palette daytime appropriate, just simply because the majority of us use a shimmer and a matte, okay? The two deeper matte tones in here, they are smoky. You know, they're those dark charcoal grays. To me, that screams nighttime, that screams Glam. So that's why I wouldn't necessarily deem this palette as a daytime palette, which I don't think that was the route she was going for anyway. Of course, the rules are meant to be broken. If you feel like wearing a smoky out of work, sis, go off. I do it all the time. And if you wanted to, of course, because you guys know I'm a fan of this as well, you could just take a shimmer tone, put it all over your lid, and be on your way. Now, tell me if it's just me. The bronze palette. When I look at the bronze palette, I think fall. I do not think summer. So again, I was a little thrown off and taken aback when this palette came out and was deemed her summer palette, because to me, this is giving me fall vibes, pumpkin spice latte. Like, I'm getting my basic fall life with this palette. This is the palette that I would reach for fall. It just screams fall vibes. So in my opinion, I think this should have not been the summer palette. I think this should have been the fall palette. And then I think this palette should have come out maybe November-ish, because a lot of, well, I mean, I don't know. Are we having Christmas holiday parties this year? I just got really sad. Anyway, this is a palette that I think would have been more suited for November, December, just with the nature of the holidays, holiday parties, people getting glam to go out. That's just my thought process. That's when I think this palette should have come out, but that's just me. Now, as far as this palette, do I think it's brown girl friendly? Yes. Is this palette for you? If you do not like cooler tones, this palette is not for you. If you are afraid of cooler tones in any capacity, this palette ain't for you, because if you're afraid, it is not worth you investing $65 to play in tones that you are deathly afraid of. Dose of Color is pretty cool. Stay there. That is a bomb palette. I love that palette. It is all mattes and it is cool tone neutrals. I would start there before you did this. I mentioned Dose of Color is pretty cool. I feel like this is a great place to start if you are someone who maybe wants to dip and dabble in cool tones, but you're afraid. This is what it looks like. It's all matte, and the formula for this is really, really good. So I highly recommend this one for an intro to cool tones. And also, I forgot to mention the Mini Glam palette by Natasha Denona. This is also another great way. These are cooler. And again, same Natasha Denona formula. It's just that, of course, if you're afraid and you want to try, you don't want to invest in the 65, you can try this one. I believe it is about 25, but this is what it looks like. Hang on, let me try to find some better lighting here, because this ain't it. Okay, that's a little better. So this is what it looks like in comparison to the Big Glam palette. As you can see, basically it's just, you know, a little sister of the bigger Glam palette. So yeah, but none of these shades are in here. All the shades in the bigger Glam palette are new. So they might look similar because they're all in the same color family, but they are different. Now, if you are adventurous like me, if you are a Natasha Denona fan like me, if you don't mind wearing cool tones, I mean, the formula is there. The shades look stunning. You can wear these tones. It's just gonna be a matter of the placement. And also know that for us brown girls, we're gonna always use these two deeper shades here, the smokier shades. So just know that your look is always gonna be a little bit more glam, a little bit more smoky, a little bit more sultry. So if you're good with that, then baby, get it. But if you just don't like these, pass, okay? At the end of the day, it is all a matter of preference. So I hope that wraps up our cool tone chit chat. Just because something is cool tone doesn't mean that it is going to be chalky. It is just a tone, you guys. Don't be afraid of it, all right? I have been thinking of a way on how I can explain color theory on my channel for a really long time, because it can be a very daunting thing. I know for a lot of us brown girls, women of color, you know, like I said earlier, the initial thought is, oh, it's cool, stay away from it. But there is a need for it. There is clearly a need for it. I know whenever I'm doing a lot of color, especially color corrections, if something is too warm on someone's hair that is dark, I need a cooler tone to cool it off. So I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out how I can explain that, but that's gonna wrap up today's chit chat. Down below, let me know, have you tried the palette? Do you like it? Are you gonna get it? Or if you're just simply not a fan of cool tones, that is okay too, all right? Y'all know the deal, keep it simple, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.